Hey y'all, it's your girl Keela. Just came home from class, from work, and all that good stuff. Happy. What is today? Today is Tuesday. But I don't know when it'll be when I post this video. But I just needed to come home and get this topic off of my chest because, for one, it's something that I already had in my notes to talk about with you all. But also, I feel like I go through it at least like several times out of the month and I constantly need to check myself on the fact that I'm doing it. But basically today I want to talk about venting and how sometimes venting, like there's levels to venting, and how sometimes venting can actually like do the opposite of what you're hoping it will do, which is drain you and make you feel like you are losing energy. So when we are going through things, of course, like there's point people in our life who we tell things to, and some of those people are, know us well enough to know what answers to give us, or like what responses, that we need in that moment, or what kind of love that we need. So for example, when my friends, family, come to me with stuff that they want to get off their chest, that they're venting to me about, or even asking for advice, my method, one, is to pray with people. I think I noted this in another video, but it's not that I'm heavily religious. I'm just heavily spiritual, and I truly do believe in the power of prayer and in putting things out into the universe and watching them come back, or watching things appear more clear in your life. And I believe that it really can give you clarity to get those things off your chest and give them to a higher power, whomever that may be for you. So that's my method, right? That's just one of the ways that I show the people that I love that I care about them. Let me pray with you. I will pray with you. Also giving people maybe solutions to their problems instead of letting them like kind of wallow like in what they're going through. I'm very solution based, and I like to offer people real solutions to what they can do to fix their problems immediately or in the short term. My problem is, and I think it does have a huge thing to do with me being a Capricorn, is that sometimes when I vent, I feel like nobody is really giving me exactly what I need, and it really makes me feel like I'm losing energy, or I'm having to put more energy now into making myself feel better about the fact that I even told you, because I just bore my soul to you and you said something like, oh, like, that's effed up, or oh, da da da, and it's like, okay, not really what I was looking for. So today I want to talk about that, and I also want to give y'all some things that help me kind of check myself, and some things that help me recuperate and give myself what I need, instead of like, oh, nobody is there for me, nobody's there for me, because it's not true. People love you, but people love you in the way that they know how to love, and slowly but surely you can teach people how to love you by continuously kind of checking on them and telling them like, hey, well, when I told you that wasn't really, So if I, for example, tell someone something and they tell me, you'll be fine, that's like one of my number one, oh my God, like, don't do that to me. Like, do not, like, you'll be fine. Duh, I'll be fine. I know that I'll be fine because I'm fine, and I've been through stuff and I've came out of it. I'm telling you this right now because I need you to maybe say something that I'm not thinking about. Take a different approach on it. Maybe remind me of another time where I was going through something and maybe I'm forgetting because I'm not looking at things in full perspective right now. But do not tell me like, oh, you'll be fine, because yeah, I'll be fine, but what does it mean to be fine? Just because I'm getting through things doesn't necessarily mean that I'm like mentally okay. I feel like I constantly have this problem because I'm such a deep person, and I'm constantly looking for deeper meanings of life. I'm always looking on the secret language. It always tells me like, oh, like you always are looking for something deeper. Like your whole purpose in life is to find the purpose of life, and that can be a very exhausting game that I play with myself, which is a whole other story. So I find that sometimes when I tell people things, I end up feeling a lot worse. And not about the situation, but like I feel worse because I'm like, dang, I just told this person, and this person, and none of them exactly gave me what I was needing. I think it's very important for us to remember that our emotional work and our emotional labor is not to be put on anybody else. It's really unfair of us, and I constantly have to remind myself of this, to give other people your emotions and expect them to know what to do with them. And that is exactly why every day should be a day of doing that self-work, so that way you do not get lost, like, all up in your feelings and like, oh, I don't have any friends and stuff like that. Like, because it's not the case, and it's really like unappreciative of the people who do love you in their way. So one of the things that I do to combat this is I write. I do keep a journal, and I write things that come up for me, or I write when I have a problem. I'll even write like how my conversation went with somebody and what exactly triggered me or pissed me off or irritated me about what they said back to me. Writing, I have found, is an excellent way for one to stay focused. I write down everything. That's like my mantra, like write down everything. And then also I find that I can find out more about myself, because when I'm writing, it's kind of like I'm just writing. So remember when you're in high school and your teacher used to have those assignments where you would just free write and they would give you a time, so you literally were like trying to get everything out. And then you would look at the page and be like, dang, I didn't even know I was feeling that way. Sometimes when I'm writing, I start to write stuff and I'm like, whoa, like just found out something different about myself, or a new revelation about how I feel about this type of thing, or what triggers me when I have conversations with people. So writing is one. Two, I pray. And again, I'm not heavily religious, but I am heavily spiritual, and I truly do believe in the power of prayer. And on my vision board video, I noted that one of my top goals of 2017 was to move in a godlike way and to have more godlike thoughts. And what that means for me is sticking close to prayer and making sure that instead of always running to Snapchat or Facebook or the internet in general, or my friends' inboxes, and having them deal with my like emotional like crises, to talk about it with God, to talk about it with this higher power, with this energy that is feeding me what I'm feeding it. That's really important for me, and it's a really important relationship in my life. And so, as cliche as it sounds, and then you may feel like, oh, I'm just talking to myself, this is as good as being alone. It's really not. And if you get into the practice of it, you will see how you feel depth when you start to practice prayer. So that's two. Prayer is number two for me. You have to be careful, and it doesn't matter if it's your partner, if it's your best friend, if it's your mom, if it's your dad, if it's your grandma. It doesn't matter who it is. You have to be careful to not place expectations on people that they did not necessarily sign up for. And you also have to be careful to not put your emotional labor on those you know cannot even emotionally carry their own stuff. You feel what I'm saying? So be mindful, and I think that's a whole other video that I need to do. Be mindful who you complain to. Be mindful who you vent to, because what does that person have going on right now? Are you complaining about something that that person wished that they had, or something that that person, you know, like, do y'all understand what I'm saying? I really do hope that y'all understand what I'm saying. But on that night, I'm going to cut this on that note. I'm going to cut this video short, and I just wanted this to be really raw and uncut, and me getting this off my chest when I came home. And I really hope that somebody out there will feel me. I have a feeling that y'all will. And this is going to be another conversation on another level, because venting is a whole other thing. But I just want to make sure you keep your energy intact, and you understand that sometimes you could be losing a lot of yourself by giving up yourself. Got it? Peace. Thank you for watching.